this makeup look, I seriously filmed like 2 months ago. It took me so long to just get around to editing this. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is my Harvest Goddess makeup tutorial. If you guys want to see how I got this look, then please keep watching. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking this Maybelline Matte and Poreless, and I am just putting that on like the bottom half of my face, so like my jaw, because that is where my skin is going to be peeking through. Everything else is going to be like a skull on my face. Then I'm taking this NYX Hydro Touch foundation, and I'm just patting it on just to give myself a little bit of coverage, a little bit more coverage down there. And now I'm just going to start sketching out the skull. So I'm kind of looking at like some references online. I would highly recommend, if you guys want to draw anything on your face or just anything like in general, look at a reference because it just really helps you. And I'm just sketching in like all the parts, like where it would be on my face, and then the eye holes. By the way, guys, my eyebrows are glued down with a glue stick. Okay, so now I'm just taking the Maybelline white paint, and I am just filling in the skull. Alright, so to make like the application of the white paint a little bit more even, because it's kind of patchy, I'm taking this NYX Shadow and Whipped Cream, and I am just patting that on top of the white paint. I wanted my skull to be like really warm toned and just kind of like to have very bright pops of color, so I'm taking this NYX Primal Colors in yellow, and I'm just putting that basically just all over the skull. Then I'm taking this NYX Full Throttle eyeshadow stick. I'm not sure the name. By the way, guys, all the products that I use will be listed down below, and like it'll have the names and stuff. And I'm just putting this all over like the eye socket whole thing for the skull. And then I'm going in with the yellow again, and I'm just setting that Full Throttle eyeshadow. Once I'm done setting everything, I'm taking the yellow Full Throttle eyeshadow stick, and I'm just going over and just kind of adding a little bit of yellow to my skull. I just want to like pop the very intense yellow, and then just blend it out with my finger. You guys, these are actually really good. Like, look how pigmented that is, seriously, and it blends out really nicely, as you guys can see as well. So I'm just saying, they're nice. Once I get that done, I'm taking the orange Primal Color, and I am just starting to shade in the eye socket hole area. What is that technically called? I don't know, but I'm just shading around it so that it looks like it's like going in, you know what I mean? Yes, I'm doing that with the orange. Once I get done that with the orange, I'm going in with the yellow, and I am just starting to like add, you know, some more yellow, just yellowing it up like I'm doing for like most of the skull. And then I'm taking some of the orange and just adding that. So I'm adding it like around the skull, so like around the eye socket thing, around the nose. I'm adding it to like the edges of the skull, just basically shading some more. Once I get done shading in like around the skull, I am taking the red Primal Color, and I am bringing that into the sockets just to make them, again, look like they're sinking in even more. I'm also adding a little bit to my nose and like down my Cupid's bow. I decided to opt out of like a skull nose. I don't really know why. I just thought, I don't know, I just wanted my nose to be my nose, if that makes sense. And then I'm taking this white, and I'm just going over like the areas where I put the colors just to get them to blend a little bit better. Now for the eyes, so I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow in Noir, and I am just creating a cut crease around my like lids. I'm making like my crease a little bit bigger, and I'm just creating the shape of it, which is just a very cat eye shape. I'm also bringing that around to my lower lash line, making sure that that is very lined and it's kind of matching the top so that it doesn't look like top heavy. And I'm just blending it in with a little fluffy brush. I also lined like the socket holes and made them look a little bit more defined with the black eyeshadow. So on my lid, I'm using an Inglot pigment. Again, not entirely sure of the number, but it'll be down below. And I'm just patting that on. It's just like this beautiful, sparkly pink pigment. And just looks so good with the yellow, don't you think? I think so. After that, I'm just taking a wee bit of that orange and just throwing that underneath my lashes. Then I'm taking the black and I'm just going back over my cat eye just to make sure it looks nice and defined. And then we're taking this brown, it's like that light brown Maybelline paint, and I'm just like bringing that kind of like, I'm doing like kind of a rounded shape. It's just to show that the what am I talking about? Show us the skull has like some like form to it, so it's kind of like curving around. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. Then I'm taking this NYX glitter and ice, and I'm just throwing that all over the place, you guys, because it's so freaking pretty. Like, this glitter is so pretty. It's like one of my faves. But yeah, I'm just throwing it all over. It has like a nice green reflect to it. Then I'm taking the Maybelline white paint, and I'm just flicking that into the brown paint just to make it look a little bit less intense, and also to show form. Now, for the moon, so I'm taking some of this Urban Decay eyeshadow in Slow Burn, and I'm just tapping that on my forehead. Then I'm taking the yellow NYX Primal Color, tapping that on top. Then I'm taking this Maybelline Clown White paint, and tapping that on the one side. So this is creating like kind of a cratery effect. Then I'm taking some red eyeshadow from the NYX Brights palette, tapping that. And then I'm taking this NYX white liner, tapping that. All of this is creating more of a cratery effect. This is a gold liner from NYX, putting some dots on there to also mimic a cratery effect. This is the NYX Vivid Brights in yellow. I'm kind of outlining the moon. Then I'm taking some of the orange and outlining the one side of the moon. This is also Vivid Brights. I'm taking more of the yellow, lining it some more, and also tapping it on to create again more of that cratery effect. And I'm taking my white NYX liquid liner, and I am just creating a rather like extreme white highlight on the one side. After that, I'm taking the yellow again, tapping some more, orange, tapping some more to give it like a stipply cratery thing going on, and also the gold NYX liner, and I think that's it. I don't know if I added red on there too. I might have. I probably did. And then I'm creating a cat eye with this hard candy eyeliner. This is the NYX mascara and coral. I tapped some of that on there too, because why not? Just might as well add more of a cratery effect up there. And then I'm taking some more of the yellow NYX Vivid Brights. I think it is in Vivid Halo, and I am just outlining the sockets. I'm also creating like a line around my cut crease, and I put some little lines in the inner corner. Once I got done that, I took my Studio liquid liner in gold, and I brought that around the sockets just to like line them a little bit more. And then I took the yeah, there we go. Now I went in with the red to add more of a creamy effect up there. I knew I did it. And then I took my orange Vivid Brights and I went around the sockets. And I wanted the lines to be like kind of like sketchy looking, like they're not all on top of each other. Once I got done that, I took some more of that orange Vivid Brights and I just stippled some little dots all over the place just to add a little bit of texture and also some shading. Then I took some of the yellow, did the same thing, and I believe I also did the same thing with the red and the white liquid liner. For some more texture, I'm taking that NYX mascara and coral and I'm just tapping that on the skull area. I also took some of it and I put it on my lashes, just like the tips and stuff. I also added a wee bit of that yellow Vivid Bright to my lashes. Now for the teeth. So I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow and Noir again. I'm just starting to lightly outline the teeth with the black shadow. And I'm like outlining the teeth area, and then I'm also flicking it up a little bit because, like, I don't know, you know, like your teeth, they flick up? I don't know. Just look at a picture of your teeth, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then I'm blending it a little bit with a little brush. And then we are going back over it with the Maybelline paint in white. Yes, we're going over the teeth with that just to make them look a little bit brighter than like the skull, you know, so there's a little bit of contrast. And then I'm taking the white liner and I'm just adding a little bit of highlight to the skull and also to my nose because it's cute, and also to the teeth. Now I'm taking the Maybelline paint in black and I am just outlining the skull. I'm also outlining the teeth and the sockets. I wanted to add more of that like stippling textured effect, so I took a combination of the Maybelline black paint and the Hard Candy Walk the Line liquid liner, and I just added some little black dots like all over the place. For the lips, I'm taking the NYX Macaron Lippy and Citron Yellow, and I am just putting that on my mouth and kind of like tapping it in. And I'm taking a little bit of an orange eyeshadow from the NYX Brights palette. I'm just tapping that on in. And then I'm taking some red eyeshadow, and I'm kind of like blending out my lips a little bit, like blending it across and then down my chin. I wanted to add a little bit of yellow to the lip area as well, just to match the skull area. So I just added some yellow down there. Then I took a little bit of my black eyeshadow and I just like flicked out the lips a little bit. Brought some onto my bottom lip. Once I got done that, I wanted to add a little highlight on top of the like slit on my lips. So I took some of the NYX white liner, added a little highlight, and then I added another little like yellow highlight right underneath the black line. Then I took this NYX gold liquid liner and I just created like little tears coming down. Like, I'm feeling so cool. I really like I'm just saying. It kind of looks like a scar or something too. I don't know. And then I flicked some up onto my forehead as well. And then I took, oh my goodness, I took this yellow, my boobs! I took this yellow NYX Primal color and I just tapped that onto the bottom part of my chest. We're starting like the chest thing. I took a little bit of a darker yellow shade as well, and I tapped that on top of the bright yellow just to make it so that there's like an ombre thing going on. And then we took a little bit of an orange eyeshadow from, I believe this is all from the NYX Brights palette. The bright yellow is a primal color. But yeah, I'm tapping that in, and then I decided to take a little break, okay, and I wanted to add a little bit of that gold to my lip as well and like bring it down my chin. Once I got done with that, I am taking Slow Burn from the Electric palette, and I'm just tapping that on top of that orangey shade. Once I got done that, I'm taking the, this is from Tooth & Nail Cosmetics, it's the Sailor Moon palette, and I'm taking the shade Mars, and I am tapping that right on top of Slow Burn, and I'm bringing that all the way up my neck. Alright, so now for the land, I'm taking the Maybelline black paint and I am just creating like a sort of hilly, rocky kind of texture, and I am connecting it to my bathing suit. So that's a bathing suit top, by the way. And yeah, so I am just like making like a lumpy little surface texture, and then I'm filling it in with the black paint. Alright, so now for the tree, I am going in and I'm just kind of like making a tree in the middle. So like I'm keeping my lines like nice and organic, and I'm making it so that it's like thicker at the base, and then as it goes out it gets thinner. I'm just adding a bunch of branches in. It's funny because I paint trees like constantly at work. So when I was filming this, like by the time I got done filming this, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, because I started filming it really late. And I was like, when I got to the chest part, I was like, what is the quickest plant-like thing that I can paint right now, because I was so tired. And I was like, a tree, because I can seriously paint a tree. Like, I paint trees constantly at work. I think I already said that. But I can just paint a tree in like 2 minutes. Like, this took me like almost 2 minutes. And trees are just really easy because they're like organic. You can't really mess them up. You just have to kind of make wiggly lines. And they're just fun to paint, okay? And then I'm taking some of that like deep brown reddy shade from the Maybelline palette, and I am just adding some highlights to my tree. And I'm bringing it like down, create some roots, and then we are taking this NYX Pro Foundation Mixer, and I wanted to have like more trees, even though I kind of honestly regret this after I filmed, because I kind of just wish I made like one gigantic, huge, crazy ass tree in the middle instead of adding like a bunch of little tiny trees around it. But I wanted to make like sort of a forest thing happening, but I don't like how it turned out. It looked like broccoli or something. But yeah, so I'm just making little tiny trees, basically keeping the same concept, but making them way less impressive in the background. Also, this NYX Pro Foundation Mixer don't paint with this. Like, unless you're like adding just shading and you're like not gonna move, because it's smeared, as you can see on the one side where it got into my armpit. And then I'm taking some of this coral mascara. I'm just adding some leaves, some little coral leaves, and then I'm gonna go in with my yellow and my orange Vivid Brights. I'm just tapping some of that on to create some, like, you know, some depth to the leaves. I also went in with the red, so I'm just going in with a combination of those 3 Vivid Brights to add some fanciness to my leaves on my tiny trees. Alright, so for the big daddy tree in the middle, I'm taking some of this copper gold, it's called copper leaf? It's, you know, it's like gold leaf, but it's in the copper shade. And I am just putting that on the big tree. I'm just making those leaves that like pretty coppery thing, and I think it looks so pretty. Like, I really like the copper against the like orange red sky. And yeah, I glued it on with some eyelash glue. It holds it really well, and that is pretty much the finished look, you guys. So if you guys like this, let me know. I actually filmed this for NYX's 31 Days of Halloween. That's how long ago I filmed this, you guys. Like, I didn't get around to like editing it until now, which is just extremely pathetic. But I hope you guys liked it anyway. I wanted to edit it, even though it's like such old footage, because this is why I haven't done creative looks since this, is because I didn't get around to editing this. So yeah, like this video if you like this video, subscribe, makes me happy, and I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Bye!